Welcome back to the shop for another day here at Basin Motorsports. I'm Canaan, and today we're going to do something very simple. This is a seat from a 2001 Chevy Suburban, which is very similar to that same generation of Silverado, etc. Just going to go ahead and repair this seat. So what I have on the bench right now is the driver's seat from this Suburban, but I'm also going to fix the passenger seat from the front row because it has the same problem. So if you notice here, the seam has split, the threading has let go, and otherwise it just needs to be repaired. So we're going to take the bottom upholstery off the cushion there, take that off. I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine, sew it back together, and then we're going to put it right back on. Then we're going to take the passenger seat off, or get the bottom upholstery off the passenger seat, and do the same thing, sew it, put it back in the truck, and send it on the way. Now the first thing we're going to have to do is take off our side covers. So I have screws in the handle and the cover itself on this panel here with the switch and the bolster there, or the seat adjuster. I need to take all that off and then take the seat belt off the other side. I need to get the frame loose from this because the cover itself is trapped between the frame and the tracks. I know with this seat we have the manual lumbar. It is kind of your star dial on the side. In order to get that out, it's going to be a little bit different. There's no screws. You're going to take this cable here, and you can see it snaps into the bottom here, or the back. So this cable comes into that hole, snaps in. So to take it out, we're going to pull it out away from it, dislocate the ball, and then this center section now is going to pull out from the side. So now you can just take this, just wiggle it out. All right, so here's a look at our cover. Now that's taken off, I flipped it inside out, and here is our split along the seam. Now this it looks like about a 3/8 inch seam allowance to sew. So you can see right here, there's kind of a witness line here. There is some thread left in it all the way to the end. And then we're gonna sew, so that's about 6-7 inches of pattern we need to sew here. So we'd start up here or end here, however we're gonna be. But you're just gonna butt the ends together, make them even, and then we're gonna sew it all the way down. Now this is behind the scenes really, so you can, if you don't have tan thread, you can go ahead and use black. I'm just gonna use black, that's what I have here in the machine. So we'll just get this sewn up, and then we'll get it back together. Okay, here's our fixed seam. So obviously on the inside, you can see there the black thread versus the tan that was there. If I show you, I flip it out. We are all fixed all the way up and around. That will definitely hold for another few thousand miles. This cover right now has about 260,000 miles on it. It is a 2001, so it is coming up on 23 years old. Just need to clip off this little bit of thread that is left over, and we'll put it back on the car. Okay, so putting this back together is essentially the reverse of taking it apart. The only thing I will definitely mention is before you put on these two bolts to bolt the seat pan down to the tracks or the frame itself, make sure you connect up your cable that goes in the back that goes to your dial. Just give it yourself a little bit easier hand clearance to be able to get that ball down into the socket, into the piece, and then snap it in. Once you have it all connected, all your screws should go back in. Everything should work. Obviously, when we put it back in, the power should be good. And that's it. So there's your fixed seam. Everything looks pretty good. No major parts to this other than just some time to take it apart, correctly sew it in there, and we're good to go. Now, since there's no major parts to this, I probably won't have a lot of links down in the video description. I'll link down to the sewing machine that I have here in the shop, and the scissors, and basically some basic tools, nothing major, socket set, etc. If you guys have any questions on how to do this, or if you get stumped on anything, leave me a comment down below or any questions. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share, all the other fun stuff. See you next time from Basin Motorsports.